For us to be successful as a police service, we have to have relationships of trust with our community. And one of the areas that we sometimes struggle with is those relationships of trust with our racialized communities and those members from the Aboriginal communities as well. Compact does an amazing amount of work out there in bridging those relationships and those communication networks, both from the police service and into the community. And one of the examples I can use is we're undertaking the largest study of its kind with respect to our traffic stop race data collection project. And Compact was used as an advisory group to help us do a full-blown consultation with the community to make sure that the study was representative of the needs of our racialized and Aboriginal communities. Le profilage racial existe dans la société. Il existe dans le secteur d'éducation, dans le secteur de santé, et il existe aussi dans le secteur policier. Donc c'est important, c'est un sujet qui est très important dans la communauté. And I think it's important with the role that we play as a police service to take that lead and tackle this issue head on. We are committed to providing a bias-neutral police service that is inclusive.
I myself come from a very, less fortunate background, and anything could have happened to me just based on, the environment that I was in.
When something means a lot to you, you invest your time into it, and I feel that bridging the gap, helping to bridge the gap and build a stronger relationship between the Jamaican community and the Ottawa Police is very essential.
There were concerns that, members of the Arab communities were being targeted after September 11. But I think the Ottawa Police has been really trying hard to reach out.
We have this giant gulf in between us, and I have spent the larger part of my career working to build a bridge in between my community and the police.
It's a place where people from the Muslim community, Jamaican community, Somali community, all different communities can sit down and talk to police officers in a safe, secure, and open environment.
Compact members represent their communities, and therefore their role is to bring to the table, and during the meeting and between meetings, their role is to bring community issues and discuss it candidly and have this dialogue and discussion about what is the best way to resolve problems and move forward. So that's the biggest thing for me, is Compact being a partner, and then Compact being part of the building block of the City of Ottawa.
We're all human beings, we're members of this community, we care passionately about the safety and security of our community. And one of the ways we're doing that is around that sharing of information. There's an education that takes place at both ends. For the members of the police service is to gain a better understanding of what the issues are from the community's perspective. And from the community's perspective, what we're seeing is that they're getting a better understanding of the nature of our business and how we deliver our service, and the intricacies involved around policing. And there's a veil of secrecy that exists sometimes around policing, and we want to lift that veil, and we want to educate the community as to why we do things.
Different people have different issues, and when they come up to the table and address those issues, and we can't quantify in terms of the impact we're making, but just having that interaction and providing that reassurance that the police is there for them, and we're all in this together. It's a shared responsibility. It is satisfying to see the reassurance with them and the confidence and the trust they have with the police.
It's the link with the community, between the community and the police. It's an environment where everyone can sit and talk, safely and just to talk things through if there's any issues. So rather than have things come to a head later on down the road, we can talk about them here and have an understanding here. And if things do happen, this is also a place that we can talk about them too and get some resolution.
Meeting with the Compact members on a monthly basis, I get to meet a lot of new friends, people I talk to outside of work and outside of situations with Compact. They're good people, and the more they get to know me as a person, just a uniform, but I'm a person, I get to know them as people as well. And we're all in the same community, so we get to know each other. It's very positive.
In Compact, you really get that opportunity to connect with the community in ways that you don't get the chance to do when you're doing reactive policing. You really get a chance to see the community, be able to deal with them, speak with them, get information back from them, feed them with information. It's really a two-way information session, or a two-way means of educating each other on what the issues are and how to address the issues.
This is a very professional police service with great members, and I think the more we sit down with the community and the more exposure the community has to our members from that context, the more confident they're going to feel. You know, I've been in policing for 30 years. I'm very confident in the members. I'm very confident in myself in terms of, I know the person that I am. And it's not because I'm a deputy chief. I've been this person throughout my career. And by extension, I know that the members that are currently, at the front lines delivering police service are not any different than I am. I have complete confidence in their abilities and their desire to serve all the members of our community. But the reality is there are some members of our community that actually don't have that confidence and don't have that trust. And I think it is important that we make every effort to try to get through some of that lack of confidence and distrust. I'm always struck by the irony that here's a group that the focus is about building trust and relationships. But when you're in that room for 2 or 3 hours, it's always a positive vibe, great energy, and in fact, that trust and confidence exists in that room with our members and with those members there on behalf of some of their communities.
No question, racial profiling is probably one of the biggest controversial items facing police services. It's an issue that at times provokes impassioned debate, and whether the racial profiling is actual or perceived, it does undermine public trust.
There was an agreement between Ontario Human Rights and Ottawa Police to do a 2-year project to collect data regarding the traffic stops. And Compact was named as a party to be involved, actively involved in this project. So this is one of the bigger projects.
It's going good so far. I have been involved in the process all along. When they had the first cafe, I was there. When we had the community session at the RA Center, I was there, and a lot of my community came out and they had their say in it. And here in Compact, we had our say into what we feel should be collected in this traffic stop. And so I am aware, and my community is aware of the process all along, because whenever the information comes out, I would forward it on to members in my community.
It's interesting to see sort of, a project go from being, kind of placed upon the Ottawa Police, this needs to be done. And then take that from, okay, how do you engage the community, involve them, help them understand what the project is about, begin to collect data, and then it'll be interesting to see, what happens as a result of that and what comes out of it. So that's been really, really neat.
One of the great accomplishments of the Traffic Stop project has been this issue of racial profiling. The last year and a half that we've been engaged with the project is the most open dialogue that I've seen taking place. And it's making the effort to extend, I guess, an opportunity to get a better understanding of what the perceptions are. The beauty of the project is, one, starting to talk about the issue, and two, hopefully positioning us to get some data that might be able to drive further dialogue.
Compact is a very, very neat committee, and I've always been a big fan of it, and I always advocate when I go out to my communities, and I always tell the important work that Compact's engaged. It actually makes you feel inclusive, and it makes you feel important when police is reaching out to you and saying, hey, we have this project that we have to deal with. What's your input? How do we go about dealing with this? And would you be interested in taking and playing an important role in this event?
Policing is so many different levels of interactions with public, and so I'm really glad to be part of that, and I'm really proud of our officers, and I see a lot of good being done at Compact.
Well, I see Compact and the Ottawa Police Force as being a very professional and very progressive organization, and I'm aware that other police forces have been looking to us saying, this seems to work, what can we learn from you?